Aries, you're the first one off the rank, as usual. You know how Aries like to be first, seeing I am an Aries. So I will centre and focus now on the Aries frequency for you. And I invite Great Spirit, angels and my guides to join me with this reading for Aries, and thank you for any messages that come through in this reading for Aries' highest good and for the good of all concerned. What messages do you have for Aries for December? Here we are in December. So it's a bit of a happy not a happy birthday. Happy Christmas is what I wanted to say. But there may be some of you Aries rising out there that are actually having a birthday. So if you are, you may be a Sagittarian with an Aries rising. Okay, so yes, Christmas. Oh, it's keen to give you some messages today as well. So that's always a good thing. So we'll start from there where they popped out. So first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, and then we will continue to go around. Fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So first up we have the Three of Pentacles there, Aries, in the first house of your physical characteristics and your expression mode, how you view yourself through the eyes of others, basically, how other people see you. So the Three of Pentacles is saying to me, it's the apprenticeship card to me. So there could be something that you're starting to get your skills honed, or applying your new knowledge to new skills and putting it into form. It's also the artistic, maybe earning a little bit of a bonus income through your artistic creative endeavours. Now also with that, it's signing documents as well, so there could be important contracts that you're looking into or signing. Here with the Four of Pentacles, that's letting you know to hold on to your money, in order to build something substantial for the future. Because with the Uranus energy going through this area of the second house of your self-worth and how you earn your money, or the measure of your worth, and giving an honest day's pay for an honest day's work, it's saying, you know, money could be there one minute and gone the next. But you can make original money-making ideas, but don't get too caught up in any quick get-rich-quick schemes. Alright. Now, here in the area of communication and siblings neighbours, your mental activity. So you may have been thinking a real lot about, you know, how you're going to build something for the future and leave behind for future generations with the Ten of Pentacles there. So there's showing me here in the start of the month, there's a lot of financial benefit being shown here. You just have to not fritter away your finances on frivolous things. Eight of Wands is the love of outdoor activities and being able to enjoy sports and the great outdoors, really. It's also a sign here in the base of the wheel with the Eight of Wands in the home area that there's news coming from faraway places. So you know, the falcon there has got a little note in its claw. So you will be finding out something that you've been waiting a while to hear back from, but it's a card of action, being a Wands card. So that's a very beneficial sign there if you're doing anything to do with the home, whether you're buying or selling the home, or renovating, having guests arrive, or negotiating a swap. You might be swapping for the holidays, that kind of thing. Then we have here with the Magician in the area of your joy, the fun house, hobbies, sport. Also governs children. The Magician is letting you know that you have the ability to pull everything together. You can make your personal life quite magical. That doesn't mean that you don't have to get down to the nitty-gritty of work and get your hands dirty, but you know, so above, so below with this Magician card. The Magician is the alchemist. So I do really like that. Signs of that being there, because it's a card that can really bring some changes that you have the ability to co-create, and it is wanting you to make some changes to your private time and how much time you get to spend doing some of the things that you like. Okay. And then here we have in the 6th house, can you see that? The 6 of Cups. So there's some nostalgia going on here with your work colleagues or the workplace, and maybe even you know, remembering things that you used to do when you were younger to do with your health regime. So memories of the past, of something that you used to enjoy doing that maybe you've let lapse or you haven't had time to get involved in again. So yeah, that's letting you know that you can do that. You can revisit that. But memories from the past are significant and are quite important at the moment. But with that, you've got to remember what happened in the past was not your identity, it was your experience, it's what you experienced. So if there was some trauma in the past where it's not showing me so much so, because you've got a lot of supportive and security type cards presenting for you here, Aries, but there is that Five of Swords next to it, so there could have been some anxiety that you've still having to let go of. So just know that now, in the now, it's not actually happening. There may have been something triggering those emotions in you that has brought any of that anxiety feeling back, but it's not happening now. You know, you're just being triggered. So try and reflect on the more positive, inspirational memories of the past. Now, here in the area of relationships and marriage, you have the Five of Swords. So that is the stress of daily grind, really, the Five of Swords. And you know, I'm hearing that you just want to walk away from it, you just want to get out of there, you don't want to have to even look back. So it could be a good time to take that time, actually, with the Six of Swords next to it, to walk away, you know, count to 10, walk away, and reflect on more pleasant thoughts. And don't let the anxiety or the stress be your captain of your soul. Now, I'll just ask the Divine Direction cards for the healing process that you need to take for that. And it is showing nature. Connect with nature. Feel the sun on your skin. Walk barefoot on the grass. Lovely. So that's a message there for you to get out in nature when you start feeling that. So instead of staying and fighting or arguing or you know, taking too much on board that others may be presenting to you, put your shoes on. Well, or if you're in a position where you can, take your shoes off actually and walk on the grass and let the earth energy heal, come up through your feet and heal. And there's also maybe some base chakra, root chakra work that you needed to do. So if your root chakra is overbalanced, you may be experiencing being bossy, domineering, big ego, the greed, violence and cunning. If it's underactive, you may be dealing with issues that are unresolved, or hold-ups or blockages in your sexuality. You could be coming from a place of fear instead of love, and finding it difficult to make a decision. You're unsure. So to balance, or the balance of the chakra, the base chakra, is grounding. So going out in nature and having your feet or body on nature. And expressing some of your individuality or independence and that feeling of being alive. So that's what you will be experiencing if your root chakra is balanced. So if it's unbalanced, see the colour red being focused down there into the groin area. That is where the root chakra is, and focus on it being healed by that colour red, or wear some red, okay, which is a Aries colour anyway, the red energy. Now, here in your area of joint finances, other people's resources, inheritances, the beginnings and the endings, you have the Knight of Swords. So that is letting me know that there's something sudden rushing in. And it's next to another Knight, so there could be some emotional sort of bantering going on. Not necessarily a fight, but there could be something on an emotional level where because you've got to choose your battles wisely, Aries. You can't just, at this stage, because you've got to reserve your energies and you know, keep implementing that, take care of self energy. You can't go into battle all the time. So choose your battles wisely. Do you really need to get involved? Ask yourself that. Or do you need to explain yourself to somebody? So that's one of the messages I'm getting here for you. Now, also with astrologically, Mars for Aries is there in that 8th house. So there is there is that side of some of you Aries that are seeking that joint venture. And there's also those of you that are wanting to probe the meaning of cycles in your life. Going, you know, like Mars is basically a 2-year cycle. That's how long it takes to go through the Zodiac. So, you know, 2 years ago you may have been experiencing a similar energy or a similar situation presenting itself. Is that what how far back the past memories are being triggered for you? Was it a couple of years ago? So yeah, that's the energy there from that. And the Mars energy is in the frequency of Scorpio, so it's channeling through that scorpionic energy. So this could very well be a very passionate association that you've got with this area. It's to do with other people, as I've said. So there's a lot of passion there as well. Also, a wonderful area with Mars in Scorpio for spicing up the sex life as well. And that's always better than arguing or you know, getting all anxious and that. You can get that pent-up energy out as well with that sexual drive area being triggered off here by Mars. And here in the area of long distance travel and higher education, you've got another Knight, the Knight of Cups. Now the Knight of Cups is a very gentle, loving energy, and there's youthfulness involved with it. There's a sense of the youth energy being involved with that. Now, in your 9th house, you have got Mercury, transiting there. So that is letting me know that you are keen to explore the realms of knowledge. anything that can teach you about the philosophy of life. And that could even involve fascination for foreign cultures or religions. But there is a bit of romance in the air, so that is a very nice placement for that to be. So some of you could actually meet someone from a foreign culture and really connect with them on a deep level, for instance. Now here in the area of career, the zenith of our wheel, that's the Tower. The message of the Tower is structures being broken down to reform and build more solid structures. So some of you may be looking at changing your jobs. Some of you may be restructuring how you organise yourself in your career. And the guides are telling me that something did take place here for some of you where you felt the change and you weren't really keen on the change. But change is coming, and you know, we want things to change, but then when the universe has its move, like the wheel clicks into place and the things do change, it sort of does knock us out of our comfort zone a bit more often than not, and then we sort of like, oh, I don't want things to change. But things need to change in order to bring about the goals and the ambitions that you're aiming for. Alright? Now, 10th house also is a Capricorn ruled house. And here through December, from the 3rd of December through to the 20th of December, there's 4 planets in Capricorn. Venus, Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto. And then we'll have moved out of Capricorn into Aquarius, and the Sun will enter Capricorn, making the line up the Sun, Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto all in Capricorn. Okay? So that those energies will be affecting for Aries in the Capricorn area, the 10th house, but it'll also be affecting the 9th house. So it is about thinking big and seeing the bigger picture. Alright? Now the full moon is in Gemini this month on the 12th of December. It's 19.52 degrees of Gemini, which is down here in your 3rd house. So there's the communications about money or building something substantial to leave behind for future generations. Okay, and then the new moon is up here on the 25th of December in Capricorn at 4.7 degrees. And there is also a solar eclipse up here in the midheaven in Capricorn. Depending on where you are in the world, it will either, the solar eclipse will be the 25th or 26th. So again, it is governing your respectability, your public persona, career. Okay, so that's the area that will be affected by all these planets being in Saturn. And Jupiter is also there, so again, it's about, Jupiter is going to be expanding your public life and the vehicle in which you find your expression of the meaning of life. So that it's also about your reputation. So I will just ask for some divine direction here of how we can, you know, as Aries, make this area of career and public recognition what message do you have for Aries? Please, thank you. There we go, we'll take that one. Birth. This is a time for new beginnings. Embrace the new life with open arms. So that's the change. I do feel there's some new beginnings coming. Now here in your hopes and wishes, I feel that some of the hard work that you've been putting in is starting to sprout, and you're starting to see some really positive outcomes or growth to do with that, with this 11th house energy. Governing groups, social groups, friends, and that kind of thing. Hopes and wishes, humanitarian pursuits are also governed by this house. And you've had a couple of ideas of a couple of different directions, and you've probably done a bit of research on it too. And I do feel you've got at least one person in your friendship group that is on board with this with you. So starting to manifest those ideas into reality. And here in the 12th house you have Judgment. Now the Judgment card is one that depicts your own judgment as well as others judging you. But you're going to be seen in a favourable light, I feel, with this being round the right way, and the essence of the card is very uplifting, and it's also where you've just got to check in as to whether or not you're actually judging others. And it could be that an indecision has been holding up some ending of something. And this position is letting you know that you're free to move forward with a more positive attitude. And there's a lifting of karmic restrictions with that as well. So that's lovely. Now, you've also got a Neptune in Pisces, which is direct now. So you need to, with that energy working in your area of the subconscious, your psyche, your health, and karmic debt, which I feel there's some of the karma is going to be cleared for you, because you are practicing on, you know, like all your self-help techniques, Aries. So you're using the power of meditation, the power of breathing in the prana. So you might even be doing some breath work, and all of that is going a long way to this enlightenment and lifting of some of the burdens and some of the debt. So that's a very helpful situation going on there with the Neptune in Pisces. It is wise when Neptune's in Pisces to sort of steer clear of drugs and alcohol. It can have a very yucky effect on people. In some cases, you might even need to face the facts with the Neptune Pisces placement, and really ask yourself when you have some of that anxiety hitting you, are you coming from a place of fear rather than love? And if you're worrying, anxiety, or depressed, or any of those sort of hard to manage feelings and thoughts, then you're coming from a place of fear, and seek out where you can come from a place of love. And you can find that out through all sorts of metaphysical endeavours and wisdoms and teachings, which I feel is the magician's message there for you. Okay, so now I would just like to ask for you, Aries, for your animal medicine message. So first of all, we have Raven. So the Raven's message is to be discreet. Use words astutely and economically, inspired by the bird in Edgar Allan Poe's classic poem, The Raven. It only ever spoke one word, and that was nevermore. Be an unflappable poker player. So you need to put on your poker face in some extent. Show tact and discernment, because loose lips sink ships. Alright, so be careful of your words. So again, that 5 of Swords here. Choose your battles wisely. And then your second card that came out is the Scorpion card. And remembering Mars and Mercury are in Scorpio. So that's quite significant. Now Mercury moves into Sagittarius on the 10th of December, so that gives you a bit of an idea of when there's a shift coming. So avoid being one-dimensional. Putting all of your eggs in one basket like a scorpion digging in leaves you too one-dimensional. Open up other avenues and escape routes instead of banking everything on one option. Don't be like a scorpion, saving everything up for one big sting. Spread yourself around. So this must be connected with this group activity. And remembering with the planetary conjunctions in Capricorn triggering off that zenith of our wheel, which is also known as the midheaven, governing careers, but it also is a parent house. It's the father figure, because the father usually went out and worked out in the world, and the mother was at home tending to the home. But these days, because both parents work, this could be either parent. So I just refer to it as the parent's house. So remember, that is also a significant influence coming from that polar axis there of Capricorn to Cancer astrologically. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me, Aries. It's been wonderful to read for you again. Please, if you're not joined, click on the subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the little bell beside. And if you've enjoyed this reading, give me the thumbs up, and leave me a comment, and I will look forward to communicating with you again in our next reading. Also, I would really like to take this opportunity to wish you all a wonderful festive season, and for those of you that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas, and have a happy New Year, because we are entering into a new decade. In a sense, we're coming to the end of an old era and the beginning of a new. And a whole new decade is beginning here in 2020. So I'm quite excited about that, actually, because it is giving us a bit of a glimpse into 2020 here in December, and our quest, and some opportunity for some deep healing, and also learning how to find our own sacred place. Maybe, set up a little altar in your house this Christmas as well, with some of your favourite crystals or flowers, or anything that you hold as being something of being sacred. Candles, incense, essential oils, you can burn those too. And try and relinquish control. Try to not worry about whether or not other people are doing things the way you think they should be done. If it's their thing, yeah, sure, give advice, but let it go and walk away, because you need to focus on your own stuff at the moment. Okay. So thank you so much. Look forward to talking to you again very soon. Much love and many blessings, Aries. Namaste.